Hi, I'm Alice and I'm a communications coach, entrepreneur, writer, jack of all trades. And I started this channel because I wanted to talk about practical skills to help us move through life day to day. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about self-discipline. No, you do not need 100 self-help books to help you move through life with ease. You need discipline. So stick around till the end because I'm also going to give you some updates about what we're going to talk about on this channel. So previously we talked about what smart people do strategically that the rest of us don't. And one of the things that I've learned from working with a billionaire is that they have systems in place, and those systems to build takes discipline. So just like planting the seeds for your ideas to grow, or just like getting the ingredients for your soup and putting it all together and waiting for the soup to cook. It's the same thing. You have to have discipline in order to structure your life in a way that is sustainable. One of the things is the word discipline. It has a negative connotation. I had a very strict mother and she did everything by the clock. You know, we had to eat by 12, we had to eat by 6. My curfew was at like 10 o'clock in high school, no, 9 o'clock. So it was really tough because I rebelled. I hated the word discipline. But as much as my brother and I are different and we grew up with the same mother, we always laugh because we are so disciplined. And there are some advantages to having discipline. So if you have a big project that feels too big to accomplish, I break it down into small pieces. Think of it like chapters of a book. You write one chapter, then you write another, and you keep going. You know you have 20 chapters or 12 chapters of a book, so it's easier to be disciplined because you have a roadmap. I think where we fall short with discipline is we don't understand the roadmap. We see the tree, but we don't see the forest. This is where dyslexia comes in. Dyslexics are excellent at seeing the forest first, and then understanding where each tree goes. And if you have that ability, it's amazing how disciplined you can be. And I mentioned dyslexics because I'm around a lot of dyslexic entrepreneurs and they're excellent at keep going and being disciplined and putting those structures in place because of their limitations. And all of us have learning limitations. If you look at discipline as a way to help you function, you won't have a negative relationship with discipline. If you put systems in place to help you do the things that you do on autopilot, it's going to be easier to stay disciplined. I'm going to give you a few examples, and maybe this is how you can apply it in your business and personal life. There's a reason why we schedule eating times and sleeping times for kids or for ourselves as adults. The body has a circadian rhythm. The more variability you have, the more your body is kind of out of sync. Your body is in homeostasis, or it's trying to be. If you're disciplined about when you eat, when you go to sleep, you're creating less disruptions in your body, which is a system. Same thing in your business. The more discipline that you have in creating systems and discipline in your behavior, the more you create a sense of calm in your environment. If you're the CEO and you're disciplined, people are going to see you they're going to look up to you and they'll see how calm you are and how disciplined and organized, and it wins their loyalty. It's easier also for you to lead. On YouTube, I was very overwhelmed when I was starting one channel. I saw the forest and I saw the trees, but I wasn't sure where to move next. I didn't know what goals I had each year, and I didn't know how I should compare myself to other channels because of course we all want to get to 1 million subscribers, but I didn't know how long that takes. So knowing the system that it takes on average a few years, 5 to 10 years to get to 1 million subscribers, I kind of know what I need to do year 1 and year 2 to keep going. And then I systemized my production schedule because I systemized not only my content calendar, but I also systemized my process. What needs to go into each video every week? When should the videos be published? How should I have the delivery? Discipline is one of the things that also helped me on bad days. When I had bad days and I didn't want to publish or create these videos, I was like, okay, I could do this on autopilot because I already naturally do this. I'm already looking at my statistics every day. I'm already talking to people. I'm already giving advice. I might as well just hit the play button and then just talk to you guys directly. I think that discipline is a muscle and it helps you do things on autopilot when you have those bad days or those disruptions in your body and in your schedule. If you're feeling sick and you have a system and you've been disciplined, you could totally crush it and create a video and nobody's going to notice that you're sick. If you have those disruptions in the day, it's going to be okay because you're already disciplined enough to execute, and action speaks volume. A lot of the times when I read hundreds of books on self-help, it always talked about the same thing: having purpose, clarity, action plan, the pillars of success, refining your process, having the confidence, the mental clarity. All of the things that talk about in self-help books, you can't do without discipline. Discipline is what leads you to sustainability and it leads you to success. It doesn't matter where you are in life, but if you could every single day do one thing and do it better every single day, I promise you that over the course of your lifetime, you're going to see the results that you're looking for. And I think that where the struggle is for most people, and this was for me, when I started something and with my ADHD brain, I started something else. And I started books, put them on a shelf. I didn't finish writing it. But then I realized I didn't have a system. I didn't have a roadmap. And now I structure my books in hero's journey format. So I'm able to kind of outline the steps that it takes to write a book. You have 5 acts or 3 main acts. You have 17 steps in the hero's journey. I structured my books as 17 chapters. Then I understood the plot points, what needed to go in there. And so I was disciplined to go from one step to the next because I saw the steps. The other thing too is right now I'm working on a journal called 365 Days Up the Gratitude Ladder. So there's 365 days, 365 journal entries. I'm able to stay disciplined writing in my journal and diary entry because I see the roadmap, and because every day, if you write a little, then you could spend the rest of your life writing. If you write just a little bit every day, you will write a book. If you train every day, you will be an athlete. So whatever you do, don't get so caught up with all these high expectations and these unrealistic goals or goals that may be too large to reach. And if you do have them, break them down so you can ensure to be discipline. And this is what I learned from smart people and wealthy people. They have systems in place. They are super disciplined and responsible. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about social media and what it actually does and how it's even more important to stay disciplined when you're using social media. And this goes in this playlist talking about training and learning with Alice, because I think whatever we want to achieve in life, we have to train for it. And whether it's being an athlete, it's being an entrepreneur or an author, we have to train and we have to be able to see where the noise is and kind of move through it or avoid it. So stick around for the next episode because I'll talk about social media and some insights that I found out about what it's actually doing to our lives. And please subscribe the button for me so I know that you are watching and enjoying the channel. And if you could leave some comments, that'd be great. And we always end each episode with, do the best that you can every day.